I believe that millennials are getting married nowadays because they're pressured. They're pressured by society. They're pressured by their parents. They're pressured by religion. Since those that have been raised in more conservative environments have a higher tendency to do that because they want to be accepted. They want to be socially accepted and connected, and to want to feel that sense of I did the right thing, I met my goal. And sometimes they even stay in the relationship against their own sense of happiness because of the same reasons. They don't want to feel like a failure, and they prefer that sense, they compromise their own individual happiness for that little portion of feeling accepted. Religion, it's what makes people, what gives people a sense of right and wrong in many occasions. And those that have the tendency to practice more organized or strict religions, they have a set of values that are very structured. So there is no gray area. It's either black or white. So it does play a big role, and religion associates not getting married and not having a family as the wrong thing. So it gives you the idea of not being okay with God, so to speak. A large portion of millennials don't want to get married because it is, part of the process of evolution. We have more choices now. We don't want to settle. We don't want to compromise our honesty with ourselves, our own true nature, our own true happiness. So we know now that it takes time to get to know a person. It gets time to find the right mate and know if someone brings growth and fulfillment into your life. There is a process, and sharing a home with someone takes, a lot of work, and it takes a lot of commitment. And that is something that you want to try before you actually, make the commitment, because marriage is a big commitment. You're actually compromising every area of your life, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and legally. So it is something that we need to think about. I do believe that people need to know what it's like to share a home, and even more so, I believe that people, before they cohabitate with somebody, they should for a while try to live by themselves. So they learn independence, self-sufficiency, responsibilities before, so they can understand that before they actually share a life with somebody else. Once somebody have a sense of self-sufficiency and independence and responsibility, they have the ability to be more a team player. I would not advise, not even my daughter, to marry young. We tell her, wait until at least you're 30. Because psychological maturity, takes time, and people, before making that kind of commitment, like I said before, they should be independent, and they should have the ability to have experienced life on their own. I see a lot of couples of every age and stage in life, but what I see a lot with young couples is that then again, because I believe that they marry without being prepared, and they marry for the wrong reasons, they feel pressure, and the focus is not really on one another and being connected, and really, I want you in my life because I love you, I'm in love with you, and I admire you, and you're my partner. It's more about fitting the profile, what is expected. So they feel about an enormous pressure about getting pregnant, about having a baby as soon as possible. And you see that there's a lot of infertility going on, and I do feel that it has to do a great deal with psychological stress, because stress interferes with every function of our body, And when we are under state of stress, every organ, every function of your body declines. And we have so much pressure in doing so many things in order to meet, the goals and the profile of the expectations that society and your family have on you, that we lose, intimacy. And that's what happens with couples. You see couples that they have been together for only 2 years and they're not even having sex anymore. And mostly women, they just lose interest for that, because intimacy is something that we need to build up on a day-to-day basis. See, when people stop growing individually, when people stop caring about themselves, caring about life, about living, with passion, about doing different things, the same things that you used to do when you met and you were so in love and you were full of creativity and enthusiasm and ideas and doing different things together. When they get married, they go back into routine mode. And whenever you're playing safe and whenever you're living a life without moving forward, we settle, we become depressed. Actually, we get bored, so we lose the spark in the relationship, and people think that they fall out of love. It's not that they fell out of love, it's just that they lost individually the sense of joy, the sense of being in that high vibration that they were into when they met initially. I believe that millennials might value more parenthood rather than marriage. But then again, that's also for some reason declining. A lot of couples are choosing not to have kids, and they're choosing adoption, for example. And there's millions of kids, in foster homes and abandoned. There's a great need for adoption. So they're choosing that because they don't feel that pressure anymore, and they are more focused on the needs of society, or they're more focused on following their dream, or following their purpose in life, and they get involved in their careers or hobbies or passion. They get involved into each other. We just have more choices, and our priority is to feel good and to be happy and fulfilled. Online dating is just part of our being practical. Basically, being practical. People are busy. They don't, they want to be able to interview people. They want to be able to screen your resume. They want to be able to have more choices. And, it's the same thing as, with the coming of technology. Everything is about technology. We connect, through Facebook, or we chat with friends. We don't talk as much anymore, but I really don't see it as something so negative. I think it's just a matter of keeping balance and not becoming addicted to something, because then there's the other side of the coin. There's a lot of people that have social anxiety, and they choose technology to date, to meet friends, and they isolate themselves. So I think it's a matter of keeping it in balance and keeping it because it is practical and it's fun, but at the same time, allow yourself to also go the traditional way, to go out with your friends, to mingle, to go to activities, to go to a happy hour, to go to a restaurant, to go parks and go places where people will share activities and interests, of your liking. And that's, the traditional way of meeting people. But I think, the online dating was a necessity because, we're super busy. Relationships are about loving one another. It's not about what color you are. It's not about what sexual orientation you are. You fall in love not with the person, but with the feeling that you feel when you are together and connected with that person, with what that person brings into your life, in the sense of, growing, in the sense of becoming a better person. And younger people know that. I think they're born with that capacity as much as they're born with a capacity to use technology. You know, like a 2-year-old can use, you know, an iPhone better than I do, because, you know, you are already inherited, you know, genetically, you are already pre-programmed. You bring, you know, all those fruits that, you know, you got from your ancestors. So you're already born with a capacity to assimilate the present.